Yes, so I'm an intensive care nurse. So I work in critical care, and that involves looking after patients that typically on ventilators. At their most critically unwell. Photography is a hobby outside of my job. It's just one of those kind of creative pursuits that I've always loved, and kind of being able to amalgamate the two for a certain purpose during this pandemic has been something quite amazing for me. I first started taking photos actually back in March at the beginning. I wanted to take images of my colleagues as they were going through this. And you hear so much in the media about PPE, and I think we've almost now normalised that. But I wanted to emphasise the fact that for there to be PPE, there has to be a person behind that. There's a human being that is having to negotiate their own personal struggles with challenges at work. And so I almost wanted to unmask them in many ways and unveil that and go, this is the person behind this protection. This is the person that is having to go to this every day and care for people during unprecedented circumstances and very difficult times. I saw a growing gap, a divide between public perception and what was going on, kind of the lived realities of healthcare workers in the context of this pandemic. And it became apparent, how do you convey that? How do you convey that purely just through words? How do you explain intensive care anyway to a non-healthcare person, let alone in the context of COVID? So I wanted to find a way in which I could afford almost a window into what we were living. And that was with the mindset of the fact that, my colleagues as well, we're really struggling. All of our normal coping mechanisms have kind of been stripped from us. We rely on our outside life to cope with healthcare work. It's difficult at the best of times, let alone with the exacerbated pressures from COVID. And being able to kind of provide something a little bit more tangible, kind of to go, this is what's going on, and people could use that, really motivated me to kind of start this project, and also kind of celebrate the people that are doing this, have been doing this since March. And also that element of this is going to be a moment in history that we consistently look back on. I think it's going to be scrutinised quite significantly in the future. And to have almost document that and document from my perspective as a nurse, I wanted to create a narrative that resonated with our realities and not from a perspective that didn't actually go through this.